Alright, what's up guys? Today we have an ERELNIGHT boss breakdown against normal Kai, requested by a friend of mine, so I figured I had the footage. It's a pretty short fight, so I'll get started with this one for the boss breakdowns for Challenger World 3, which, you know, it's fitting, because he's like the Challenger World season boss. So, combat power was about 53 mil. I think I had... Sorry, my footage is kind of loud. I think I had like 2% attack fams with this as well. Just standard buffs, nothing crazy. I don't even think I had MVP on. Yeah, I don't have MVP, looks like. So, pretty low ceiling for how strong you have to be to clear this boss. A couple things you have to know beforehand. Phase 1 is pretty easy, pretty tame. The only thing, of course, with this fight is just getting used to the gauge at the top left, and then the parry / dodge mechanic you have with your interact. Mine's on space, you can see. So, really, the only things you're looking out for in phase 1, you'll see I'm getting beat up a lot, and the gauge is not really going down here. I'm not even going to cover any of these attacks in the first test here. I'm just going to explain a couple of generic things about this fight. So, in general, there's like 2 attacks, or there's really only like 1 attack I worry about in phase 1. It's the one where he's not even the one where he plunges the sword into the ground and then the beams come out of his sword. Or I'm sorry, he does like the 2-part attack. Usually I just space him for that. I'll just get as far away from him as possible, and then that's not a problem. So just look for the call where he's like putting his sword into the ground and just get away from him. Keep him on screen, but just get away from him. And the other one is the one where he like I'll see if I can point out the tell, but where he shoots the blade beams, that's the one where I just kind of always try and dodge into him for that. After every successful test here, you'll get a full cooldown reset, which is very nice. Makes the fight go by very quickly. I'm already almost in phase 2. So you're not going to, if you're playing Errol, I will say, you're not going to have to interact with a lot of the tests if you play it right. This attack here, that's the one I don't worry about. You see I'm just spacing him. I got hit, unfortunately, though. That one as well. Hold on, let me turn off my Discord. That 2-part just slash in front of him, you could play very close to him, and then, dude, I'm getting beat up here. You can play very close to him and just dash through him, get to the back of him, and you can do that with all of his attacks. If you like most of his attacks except for the sword plunge, and I guess the other one where he shoots the blade beams, you can just get behind him and you'll miss the attack. This test here, this is the easiest one, I will say, because all you need to know is just listen for the sound cues, and then you just press space every time you hear a slashing motion. It's 3 sections of 4, and then 1 separate one at the very end. The best I can say is just listen for the sound cues and press your space when you hear a slash. And this one, this blade beam here, or this giant beam one, is very self-explanatory. There are audio cues for most of the tests, so honestly, if you just press space when you're hearing, for those 2 specific tests, when you hear the sound, like the slashing motion or like the beam sound, you'll be fine with your dodges. And normal is very forgiving. If you fail the test, or if you get hit during the test, you can get hit a couple times. You can pretty much even die, and you're not going to fail that test. One other pro tip, after the test is done and after you got your cooldown reset, make sure you bind after Kai starts moving again, so you get an extra 10 seconds. So really it's only like 25 seconds of between tests, so you have to actually have active time here. So you'll see I'm like not even playing cleanly here. I'm just kind of, this is I think my 2nd attempt of him ever. I'm really just learning as I go. But this attack here, again, I'm just zoning him. I'm staying away from him, not going too far because I don't want him to do the TP slash. It really is not a big deal. All right, let's see this test here. So this is the beams. Again, if you just listen for that audio cue, when you hear the audio cue, you can press space, and it doesn't matter what direction you go. The parry window is very forgiving. The second test here, in DPM, like in normal, you don't gotta worry about DPM here. This one's annoying. I would just iframe this one if you can. I don't. This one, as you basically. Once the indicator is skinny and once it becomes large, that's when you press space. You'll see every time I'm pressing parry, I'm actually, I forgot to mention this sooner. You don't want to parry and move a direction. Most of my parries, I'm holding down and then parrying, so I parry in place. That's another pro tip here. So we're going to get to phase 2. All of his attacks are augmented except for the double slash. So I stun him immediately, and I go into my burst, which if the timing works out, go ahead and do that. Hold it till after you're in phase 2. I'll have about 30 seconds here of active time, and I'll try and call out the enhancements to the attacks. Most everything just does like, it does like beams now. Most of his attacks are enhanced to just do like projectile beams. So this one does 3 beams, or no, sorry, it does a beam on the second one. That one I don't even fully understand yet. See, the double slash is, it's not augmented in any way. This one he sends out clones both ways. You don't want to, you see what I just did there? You don't want to get too far away from him where he's off the screen, because then he'll teleport and then do a double slash on you. It's very hard to deal with that. So you want to basically always be within, I don't know, half screen distance of him. This one's just a blade beam. There you go, only one. And then we got 2 seconds till the test here. So far it's been pretty chill, honestly. Even if you don't vibe with this video, I think I even got hit at the beginning there. Even if you don't vibe at the beginning, honestly, if you just go in and attempt this boss like 3 or 4 times, you'll start picking up like what to do, the telegraphs for the attacks. It's so fun. This fight is very fun. The music is cool. This one, I just iframe this. You can just kind of slowly walk it out. If you start in the middle of the screen and slowly walk left or slowly walk right, you'll be pretty good. If I don't have iframe, like in hard Kai, for example, what I do in that particular test is I'll just slowly walk left or walk right, and then I'll just parry in place when a laser is going to hit me. So that's the play for that. Again, same plan here. I get my burst back from the refund. I snare him after my origin, or no, I didn't even have origin there, after he's done being dizzy. So again, about 25 seconds here of active time. This is the 2-parter with the blade beam at the end. I got hit, didn't matter. This one's just the double clones. Most of his attacks, except for the sword plunge into the ground, you want to just be able to get onto his body. This one you want to get into him. There you go. So that's why you want to kind of play like about half screen distance from him, so you can get, you know, if you're not Errol, it's kind of harder, but so you can get closer in a pretty quick amount of time. And here's the, I think, assumed last test, I believe. This is just the beam wheel. This one's pretty easy. Again, just listening for the audio cues if you can. If you don't play with sound, it's pretty easy to visually look at them too. The second part of that, they just go faster. It's really not difficult to deal with that. This one, I think I start, I'm like, I could try this, and then I'm just like, oh, I have iframe up, so I'm just gonna iframe it. And I suggest you do the same. Most of the tests, if you're Errol, I usually try and deal with the first one. Like, I'll do the first test, and then I'll save the iframe to just iframe the second test fully. And that's like the easy way to play this. That's the cheese method, right? And then if you have Liberation, if you have your Genesis iframe as well, then you can do that as well. And then basically skip the entire test. I don't know if the Genesis iframe is refunded, though. So we got a little bit more damage here, and I think we are out. Maybe not. Yeah, there you go. No deaths. Not that big of a deal. Really, really fun boss, I'll say, at normal. Hard is a little more frustrating. It was a little harder to deal with. It's very, very punishing if you don't play the tests cleanly, I will say. So I hope you guys enjoyed the quick little boss breakdown. I know I didn't do a great job of explaining everything. I explained it in the way that makes sense to me. Like, I'm just telling you what's going on with me. I'm not going to break everything down before I see it. It's not an infographic video like that. But shout out Kobe and his video. That helped me a lot before I went into this. Yeah, I hope you guys have fun with it, and thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later.